So, on today's episode, I would like to discuss 10 signs that your mother's a narcissist. The first sign that your mother's a narcissist is that she cares so much about her image. She needs other people to believe that things are perfect, that she has a perfect family, a loving family, that she's a good person. She has to have this illusion that everything is peachy key when in fact it's not. Number two, that she may never love you in the way that you need or want her to. I had to realize this over time that she's not going to be able to give you what she does not have. So if she does not have self-love, if she's unhealed from traumas and abuse or things that may have happened in her life, then 9 out of 10 times she's not going to know how to pour into you in a good, healthy way. And so she may never ever give you the love and or the relationship that you would like to have because she doesn't have it within her. And I had to come to that realization for myself and understand that it is what it is. Number three, trying to please her is like hitting your head against a brick wall. Yo, it is unproductive and it's very painful. You ain't gonna get nowhere with her, so don't even try. She lacks empathy for you, and it feels like hate because at the end of the day, unfortunately, it is. Any kind of trial, any pain, any mishaps or wrong that happens in your life, it's like a satisfaction to her. And that's very sad. Number five, she doesn't believe in boundaries, okay? She looks at your boundaries as a disrespect. Like, how dare you tell me what I cannot do? Even as an adult, even as an adult child to her, having boundaries is offensive. Number six, she doesn't respect your privacy. I want to share a story with you about when I was around, like, I'm going to say 15, 16, somewhere around there. I was a teenager. I used to have a diary, right? And I used to write. That was like my only safe space to write things because there was no communication in the household. And I had nobody to talk to. I was going through a lot, and so I would write in my diary all the things that I endured, no matter what it was, good or bad. And one day I was writing in my diary and I realized that some pages of my diary was missing. And I was so upset. Like, oh my God, she violated me, because I took that very personal. And I broke down and cried my eyes out. And then I overheard her talking on the phone to her friend about the pages that she ripped out of my diary. So I confront her about it, and she lies and says that, she didn't do anything and she didn't take the pages out of my diary. And I'm like, oh my God. So I was so offended and heartbroken. So what I used to do is then I stopped writing how I really truly felt, and then I started writing whatever. I started writing shit, right? So what I would do is I would say things like, you make me sick, you're a bald-headed biatch. I would say stuff like that. I was talking mad shit. And then I would like, I know you're reading this, so what you gonna do about it? I know you're reading this. And those are the types of things that I would have to write in that diary because, and then so I can see what she would say. And she never said anything about it. So I was being spiteful and I was being real petty on purpose because she violated me. And then eventually I stopped writing in my diary. I no longer had a diary because there's no privacy. Number 7, she gets defensive and she gets so sensitive to criticism. Like she feels attacked, like she can't do no wrong. And like you can't tell her or confront her about something that she did because, again, she's going to get defended. She's going to get defensive. Number 8 is that she lies. This is another story. Listen, I experienced homelessness, all right, me and my son, due to my landlord selling the place. I couldn't find a new one in time, so I wound up getting evicted. So I stayed with her for a little while. And she must have started to get, a little annoyed and tired with us because we wasn't finding an apartment in a timely fashion. So she wanted to, kind of send us off to someone else. So she, whatchamacallit, was talking to her friend. Now, this guy friend, I didn't know this man from a hole in the wall. And she led me to believe that this man had an apartment for me. So she sends me over to this man's house. And I go over to this man's house thinking that he had an apartment. And when I go into his home, he's talking to me. And at first, when he was talking to me, I wasn't paying him any mind to what he was saying. And then I realized that this man was talking about me being his roommate, me and my son. And I'm like, what? And when he realized what I didn't understand that my mother had, she did not, let me know that she would talk to this man about my situation. He was apologetic or whatever. And then I was like, oh, no, don't worry about it or whatever. I said, it's not your fault. But I said, no, I cannot stay with you. It was a 1-bedroom apartment, okay, that was literally 1 room altogether. It was just one big gigantic room. And then he had a clothesline going across the room with a sheet to try to divide the rooms in half for one room, for one part of it to be for me and my son and the other part for him. I said, sir, I don't know you like this. I can't live in your home with you. What you talking about? He was like, oh, I'm a Christian man. I'm a good guy. You don't got to worry about me. I won't do nothing wrong to you. I'm a man of God or whatever. I said, I don't care about any of that. I am not staying here. I said, no, thank you. I got out that man's house. I go to her house. I confront her. And she goes, I didn't tell him that. I'm like, girl, that man don't know me. How did that man know my situation? And he knew everything about me. He knew things that only you could have told him because you're the only one who knows. And then she goes, oh, so they be lying. Okay, if you have a narcissistic mother, she lies. Sign number 9 is they try to make you look crazy or like you are the problem. Because they'll do subtle little things that nobody else is paying attention to and nobody else knows that they're doing so that they can get a response from you. And because they've been telling people all kind of lies about you, they've been just talking badly about you behind your back. So when they do these subtle things to you, they're hoping to get a response so that you can spaz out on them. And so that then she can say, see, I told you, in front of all these people. Oh, see, I told you she's crazy. I told you. So they try to make it look like you're the problem or like you're crazy. And sign number 10 is they are so self-absorbed. They need to be the center of attention. They feel like their feelings are way more important than your feelings are. They diminish you, actually. They make you feel irrelevant, to try to make you feel low self-esteem or whatever, so that they can be the center of attention, and yes, those are the 10 signs that your mother is a narcissist. And these types of things, they're forms of oppression, which can cause long-term damage if you stay in these types of long-term relationships. And until you begin to heal and you begin to set healthy boundaries for yourself, you should stop engaging in relationships and or interactions that provide you no benefit or they may do you harm. And that's why I went no contact with her, because sometimes that's the best option, is to just go no contact, because again, it's a form of oppression being in a narcissistic relationship with her. She doesn't take any kind of accountability. She tries to make you look out like the bad guy. It's very toxic and very unhealthy, and it's very damaging to you and your it's very unhealthy to you and your self-esteem. Your nervous system becomes out of alignment, and that's no way to live. And again, that's not God's plan for your life. The Lord's plan for your life is to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. So if his plans for your life are not harm and being in narcissistic relationships with your mother, a man, friends, in a job, anything, even if your environment is unhealthy, that is not God's plans for your life. So it's best to, go no contact with people like this. Because like it says in 1 Corinthians 15:33, it says, do not be misled, because bad company corrupts good character. So if you're around people, who are bad company, if these people are easily angered, they're hot-tempered, they're narcissistic, you may find yourself being ensnared, and it's going to corrupt your good character. And again, that's not the plan that the Lord has for your life. So if his plans are to prosper you, to give you hope, to give you a future, to bless you with prosperity, if you have a abundance, if you're a part, of his kingdom, then he wants nothing but the best for you. And you should want nothing but the best for yourself. And all of your relationships that you hold with anyone should also want the best for you. They should be pouring into you. They should be equally yoked. They should be loving. You should feel safe. And you should feel like you belong. And until, you know what I'm saying, you find your tribe of people who are like-minded, who are equally yoked, who are loving, it's best to stay to yourself. Have no contact with these unhealthy, narcissistic mothers and or people in your lives. So if this resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, I would love to hear your comments. And I thank you for listening. I hope you have a blessed, prosperous day. And be looking out for the next video. Thanks, peace, love, and light. Blessings to you. Until next time.